Hello, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising Sign. Wow. The month of May 2025 is going to make you very commanding as you choose and decide and act in your career and in your relationship matters, and maybe even regarding where you live. You have a super powered aspect going on all month long. Mars is on your side, and there may be some significant changes coming through the sky in what you do or how you approach your career. Let's get started and break this month down for you in a detailed way. We're starting off with an overview of the major planetary transits, followed by a week by week description. So if you're new here, welcome. My name is Lori Lothian. I am using the Western Tropical Zodiac, whole sign houses, and those fixed stars and minor asteroids are always a part of my storylines. Today we're talking about Juno as well, the goddess of committed love and marriage. She's playing a significant role this month ahead as well. I'm on vacation. I'm just trying to find some decent lighting in a kind of Airbnb, so bear with me. But we are here for the content, not how good my lighting kit is or isn't. If you want to get my 2025 bundle of all signs, that's 12 videos. Each video is 2 hours long, and there's a PDF guidebook for each video or each sign. That forecast material, the 2025 All Signs Horoscope Bundle, is for sale at half price during the month of May. It'll go on sale as of the third week of April. So whenever you can catch this video, it'll be on sale through about the 19th of April to the end of May. That half price sale is because you still have a good more than half a year left. And I would love for you to get that content for only $33. It's in my description box below. Go check it out. Listen for your sun, moon, and rising. Share with friends and family. Also, I have another thing to share with you. It is that my Sky Reader Summer School is starting. You want to learn to time your own best life and be your own astrologer. Course description and early bird discount waitlist to get a notification when it's time to enroll at a discount before the general public. You want to be on that waitlist down below as well. So first of all, one of the things I want to mention as we go into this month ahead, Leo, is that you're coming into a time in which you have a really strong, feisty, commanding presence in your own life. You are unstoppable, unbeatable, and assured. You know what you want. You're going to decide, take action, and go for it. Why? This is because Mars is moving all through the month of May. In fact, even till June 17th in the sign of Leo. In fact, he arrived here in mid-April around the 17th, 18th. And therefore, this duration of Mars in Leo is very rare. It happened in 1977, 78. I want you to go back to November and December. You had Mars in your sign then, and now he's back again to finish up unfinished business. You may make decisions to do with who you want to be with in love and long-term commitment, including decisions to separate or divorce. And you may have already gone through those decisions ever since Mars returned to your sign in the middle of April. But he's also the guy who knows what to eliminate. What I mean is, if you have a gangrene limb, you want to cut it off. It sounds gross, right? If you have a plant with some dead wood, you cut the dead wood off because it's harming the plant's growth. And in that sense, you want to definitely make sure that you understand that you're in a kind of a eliminating those people, places, things, and situations in your life that aren't right for you. So don't be afraid to say no and have boundaries. That's one of the biggest things you have going for this month ahead, is a superior, superpowered sense of boundary. He's moving between the 5th degree of Leo and all the way through to the 20th degree of Leo during this month. And if you have a sun, moon, or rising in that range of degrees, again, the degrees are 5 degrees of Leo to 20 degrees of Leo, then this is going to be an extremely important time for you. And when we're listening today for your sun, moon, or rising, I want you to think of the sun mostly focused on career matters and purpose, whereas the moon, your home and home life, and the rising sign is the character you play in the game of life. It can represent the sense that any part of your life circumstantially is impacted by the ascendant degree. It's often very circumstantially accurate. So good luck with that. I don't know if you're letting go of relationships or job paths or even changes of home, because you're going to find that all these places, houses 4, 7, and 10 archetypally, are up for renovation and change. Only thing I can say is that you have super powered boundaries, ability to say no, and to eliminate and cut from your life that which is no longer needed or necessary. So go for it. Next off, I want to break it down: Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, etc. What else is going on in the sky? Let's talk Mercury. I will be showing you the chart when we get to the week by week. Mercury is moving through the sign of Aries when the month starts out. Now, Mercury, while he entered Aries on April 16th and leaves on May the 9th, he's moving very quickly because he's coming off a slingshot from retrogradation. And so what I would say for you is that as you come into those first 9 days of May, Mercury moving at high speed is pretty prioritizing matters of healing. He's whipping over the chironic wound in the 9th house. And so where in your life do you feel that you haven't touched down with your spiritual faith, your spiritual beliefs, your spiritual philosophy, or your purpose and meaning of life in a proper manner? Or do you have a father figure wound that you're trying to heal? Well, you may find yourself focused in the first 9 days of May on matters that are chironic to do with that 9th house theme. And some of you may also be busy traveling, especially abroad, working on visas, passports, etc., or maybe even applying for schools and universities. Those are possibilities that are very effectively Mercury in the 9th house for you during that first 10 days of May. Then on the 10th of May, Mercury is going to slide into your 10th house. Now, your 10th house is what people see you doing in the world. And so it's your career space. He's got a microphone. Are you going to speak in front of the public? Are you very highly visible in your career from messages you're communicating? He rules marketing and selling. And if you're in a sales career, yeah, you can do really well with this. He's a negotiator. So May the 10th to the 25th, you can negotiate contracts in your work. You may change your work because you're in negotiating mode. And in fact, there's going to be a period of the sky, and we'll talk about that in the week by week, where there may be tense career battles and negotiations with people in authority about what you want in your career and what they're willing to give you contractually. So you come into this, the art of the deal at some point during the month of May. And I'll describe that in the week by week, so you'll know when to look out for that. And with Mercury in the 10th house, you may be announcing things to the world. Look at me, I'm divorced. Look at me, I'm engaged. Look at me, I'm this. Look at me. Like, you want to make announcements about who you are and what you're up to. And other people may observe those announcements, whether they're in real life or they're online. It doesn't really matter. Mercury, the announcer in the high noon of the public of your sky, what are you announcing to the world? Hey, look at me, I'm pregnant, I'm engaged, I'm this, I'm that. That could be very possibly a story. And next, I want you to note that then he moves into the sign of Gemini on May 26th through to June the 10th. Gemini is your house of great gains in your career, and this could open up really significant developments of positive and lucky opportunities in career, a raise, a promotion, a new job, a significant a pop in your financial matters, financially connected to work and career. And this is true because Jupiter is in Gemini, bringing the transit of Mercury luck, opportunity, growth, and expansion in the earnings of your career space. Mercury loves to socialize. He's a social butterfly. We're putting him in Gemini, which is a social air sign, in the 11th house, which is groups and friends of belonging. I think you could just simply also notice that you're highly social May 26th through to June the 10th. For some reason, you are really out there doing stuff, having fun, hanging with friends, etc. So pay attention to how you feel. Maybe you just feel like you've got your social mojo going. And there's going to be a lot of support for socializing from Venus as well in your 9th house. You may socialize in spiritual community or foreigners, or even socializing in groups through travel. Lots of excitement for you at that time. Finally, Mercury is a sibling one older than you, as well as allies and benefactors. And May the 26th to June the 10th, you may benefit financially or in other ways, favors from friends in high places, or a sibling who supports you in a very lucrative and financially positive way. What about Venus, the goddess of love and beauty and peace and kindness? She's moving May the 26th to June the 10th. She's moving May the 1st to June the 5th. May the 1st to June the 5th. Venus is moving through one part of your sky, and that is the Aries real estate, and that is your 9th house. That's where Mercury was until May 9th. Now, there's a period of time, May 1st to May 9th, where both Venus and Mercury are up there together. And that could be really a beautiful time for a trip, going on some pleasurable junket, a pilgrimage, a foreign land adventure. So I encourage you, if you haven't booked something, you were thinking of it, to use that May 1st to around the 10th and look at that as an ideal travel opportunity. It's also good for legal matters and court cases and winning in them, or getting accepted at a university or college. So again, the first 10 days of May. When we move forward and we see Venus's longer range story through to June 5th, May 1st to June 5th. Did I get that right? Yeah, in the sign of Aries. I wonder if you're going to do something here that's creative and meaningful. This is book publishing. You can also publish podcasts here. You might be really ready to get involved in some kind of pleasurable spiritual community activity, or even find yourself focused a lot on a female teacher, guide, a mentor, therapist supporting you in something. And lastly, this is very positive for legal and court matters. Venus will try her best to bring you success if you're in any kind of legal matter, even just paying off a parking ticket or disputing it. Just legal disputes can be served by Venus's blessings here during the month of April. She is in detriment and she's not in her happiest sign, but she is still Venus, and she's getting support from Mars for you to fight the good legal fight and potentially win. And that will be true basically all of May through to about June the 5th. Now, Jupiter is the god of luck. Jupiter is in your 11th house of good spirit, also a fortunate house. And he's been there since the third week of May 2024. He did retrograde in the fall. And it might have felt hard, right? You might have thought, where's the luck? October through to February. But he's in direct motion. And at this point, he's just purely lucky. Well, here's a caveat. Jupiter gives you what you want, want what you want. He's wiser than you are. So what do you need in friendship groups? What do you need in career gains? What do you really need that's going to bless you when it comes to favors from an elder sibling or cousin or allies and benefactors, right? These are the people who can be Jupiter to you and give you money, blessings, prosperity, and favors. So I don't know what it's going to be, but knowing that he's moving forward and he's not encumbered anymore through the retrograde, just say there's a lot of 11th house luck, even pennies from heaven, some kind of mini windfalls may show up in your life during the month of May. Anytime in May is exactly fine. So see what happens. Maybe you're going to maybe, I don't know what you're going to do. You could win some money. He's the ruler of your lottery win house, but you can also benefit from that elder sibling or friends, allies, and benefactors, or a new job or a raise or promotion. These lucky vibrations are true all of the month of May. And finally, we have Saturn, Lord of time and karma. Yeah, Saturn is moving through Pisces since 2023, March of 23, and fully exits in the spring of 2026. However, this is a big story going on this month. He's going to slide into Aries for a test run of the Aries sky after being in Pisces for all this time. Having Saturn in Pisces might have been good for your occult knowledge, mystery, soul work, but it might have been hard on you when it comes to your money situations with investments or stocks or royalty income or money you share with a spouse, etc. Things might have felt contained, constrained, anxious, fearful, or you might have just been very serious about your money and getting those tax filings done correctly and making sure you got, sort of a sober, realistic assessment of your long-term financial strategies. Now, one thing about Saturn here could just be in payouts too, like an insurance payout. But Saturn brings constriction. So there was some kind of financial constriction perhaps going on in your life since 2023, a little bit, not having the money you need or want. Some of you might have got inheritances from an elder in the family. But as Saturn is getting ready to slide on to the Aries sky, and he does that on May the 25th and will remain in your 9th house all the way till September 1st before backtracking into Pisces again, you might find that this is going to be a period of time where you're really becoming far more serious about the following themes: your spiritual path, the meaning of life, your unique dharmic path, the way you wish to be finding an educational direction that will have long-term gains for you in life, the way you might want to apply yourself with hard work and discipline to publishing, book publishing, education, matters of visas and travel. I often find Saturn in the 9th house is like a runway for the 10th, because when he leaves there 3 years from now, let's go push ourselves forward to 2028, that you will find that you're ready to be authoritative and masterful in the top of the sky with something to do with the word career and purpose. And well, that mastery is now in takeoff mode. It's still not fully risen to the high noon. And so there's a lot going on archetypally that says you're in a prep mode for something that goes 2028 to 31. And notice the feeling you have this summer. Like, how does it feel to be you, May 25th to September 1st? Because Saturn trines you and makes you grow up. It's a big grow up, but it's in a positive, easy way. Now, if you have a father figure with a chironic wound, it's not a great relationship, or your father figure's got some health challenges. Saturn can be hard on that character. Ninth house is father figures and fathers in Vedic astrology, and you might find that their health is going to go downhill a little bit in the next 3 years. But notice if a father figure's health doesn't go downhill May 25th to September 1st a bit, it probably isn't going to happen at all. Now, this is a general bell curve astrology reading, right? It's not a personal session with you. But if you want to understand that, you would look to the sun in your chart as a Leo rising, because the sun exalts the ninth house, and you would look to Mars in your chart to see how father is doing. Now, what we're going to talk about next is a week by week astrology, and I'm going to bring up the chart for you. And as we go through the week by week, please take some notes or something so you have a remembrance of this, or maybe save this video, download it if you have YouTube Premium, or come back and bookmark it, because often, I'll say all this stuff now, and I'm sure that you won't remember it later. And usually it's quite accurate. Some people go back and watch the video halfway and after the end of the month. So you do you. Starting with May 1st to the 4th, Venus and Neptune are co-joining in a spiritual union. So many things could happen with this for you, but those first 3 or 4 days of May, did I say March, May, could look like a spiritual highlight. It could be a very divine feeling, like flowing to you, like, I had a vision of Mother Mary, or I was walking down the road one day, a hummingbird flew in front of me, and I realized I am God. I mean, it can be very much like a divine feminine spiritual awakening. But if you're not inclined for that kind of content in your life, then something really sweet and good and positive is happening with love in a foreign land or a distant place, or with a foreigner, sort of a soulmate, dreamy twin flame vibe connected to educational output, book publishing deals, court and legal matters, going in a dreamy and positive way. Like if it was my sky, I'd be using that for meditation, vision boarding your ideal dreams and goals for your life, etc. Now, you might meet a spiritual female at this time, not just for romance, just because you meet, like, I don't know, what's that name of the hugging saint? Amma. You go see Amma. Amma comes to your town, and you go for a hug with Amma, the hugging saint. This is very, very cool stuff. It could look like that too. Are you a performer, actor, Hollywood model, glamour person? Neptune, Venus is giving you a height of success in some kind of creative, artistic, musical, glamorous filmography vibe. And that's the first 4 or 5 days. If you work in the film industry and in any capacity, then something good is happening for you May the 1st to the 4th. Okay. That favors you greatly and brings you luck. Now, on May the 5th to the 8th of the month, Mercury is in a sextile to Lord Jupiter. And this means good news or lucky news. Well, I don't mind good news or lucky news. I hope you're happy. Look at that sextile building up. Basically, you might get a call, an email, a phone call, a text, some kind of information, some kind of communication that is like a windfall, a penny from heaven. Someone calls you and says, "Oh my God, you have won the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstake." This is a possibility. But you feel like something is telling you you won big time. You start to feel this conjunction building as early as May the 3rd. Okay, I want you to know that. And so it's not a one and done day. It's kind of like coming on like a warm, fragrant breeze of fortune, good fortune. So here it's in play already on May the 3rd, 19 to 21. And it becomes exact. You should write this date down. It becomes exact on May the 5th, and it begins to wane by May the 8th. So in that window of the 3rd to the 8th, what is the good news? What is the lucky break? Again, windfalls, penny from heaven, lottery wins, lucky breaks and favors from friends in high places. Like suddenly you get invited to, a major podcast, or you get the dream acting job, or something you've created artistically, get some kind of favors from people in high places, exposure to greater public as well. If you're in the film industry, then you get a dream job, or if you're in the entertainment industry, you get a dream opportunity of some sort. At the same time this is happening, that you have this lucky news vibrational frequency, there's a wealth yoga, a wealth sextile between Venus and Pluto. Now, Pluto is riches, and this is a wealthy person or a wealthy or powerful energy in the house of other people or your audience and marketplace flowing to Venus here. So whatever this lucky break is, it's also financially lucrative. Most likely it's going to be also a positive financial turning point energy. Mercury is the ruler of money you possess, your second second house. So I'm going to say it's also an opportunity that looks financially positive for you as well. And because it's Venus in the backdrop there with Pluto from a female as well as a possible way of encoding that. There's a quiet oasis of sky, May the 8th to the 14th. There's like not much is happening. When you have a quiet sky oasis, it's time to take stock of what you want in life, to sit quietly and meditate, and to understand that you're not being pushed around by the planets anymore. You're the boss of you. In that regard, it's like a clean slate time. It's when you don't have a lot of clutter in the sky that's upsetting you or captivating your attention. So I prefer that you spend ideally the vibration of May, in general, May the 7th to the 14th, opening up more sense of what you want in life, especially with Mars there, really sitting with what you want to choose, decide on, and act on in life that is in alignment for you. That aside, there is during that, kind of 7th to the 14th window, really 7th to the 16th window of quiet sky. You do have a moon. We all have a moon on May 12th. This lunation is a full moon, 22 degrees of Scorpio. Now, this is a moon in a part of the sky that has to do with where you live. It's usually your home, property, whom you live with, and your domestic environment. And therefore, a full light is being shone here, and a full moon can bring a completion and an illumination. You may understand your childhood better, your family of origin growing up, and matters from that part of your life. For the fourth house is your childhood. But also, the full moon is connected to a contractual goddess, Juno, co-joining the moon. Well, that could be signing a contract or agreement regarding land, property, and real estate. And I'll put the situation in our visual field right here, the moon and Juno together. Saturn, the Lord of time and karma in the house of mortgages. Some of you may contractually agree to buy or sell property, but Saturn rules the house of rentals here, your sixth house, and this could also be a property rental opportunity, whether you're the landlord or the leasee. But the moon is happening on the 12th. It'll show you what it's for in the 2 weeks that follow, and it will unfold the full story over the course of 6 months. The moons are always a 6-month story. However, you might notice that within 2 weeks of the moon, you know what's happening. Because of a square from Mars to the moon in a general sense, it looks like a change in your home life. Looks like you might be making decisions to move. Whether you relocate at the time of the moon in the 2 weeks that follow, or put the pegs in place for a move or a property buy or sell, that's what I'm seeing here. Now, the moon can also mean here a change of those with whom you live, a domestic shift. Someone moves out of the house. So I have a Leo son's sister, and her son is moving to British Columbia from Ontario, and he doesn't live with her, but he lives close beside her. So anything in your local environment really close to home, right? And people in your family close to home, and moving and changing and shifting from the home or about the home. Things are changing here. So, maybe if you have a big family and maybe one of your siblings goes off to university, there's a change. But if you want to move your home, this is probably what this is very most well suited for. And we have Saturn saying any change of home is going to bring stability in your life, and it's going to be a move that brings long-term goodness to you, and maybe even financial benefits, because you sell a home, you get a lot more money to relax in or something like that. One more thing is that with Mercury at the top of the sky, looking over at this full moon, and Uranus, there may be unexpected and surprising reasons for a relocation or a move, but Uranus is on a wealth star, so it could be wealth reasons or exciting reasons at that. The moon reflects Uranus solar energy. And so some of this move may be precipitated by a sudden career change, a sudden career opportunity, or things that are connected to a father figure in your life. But I'm seeing, for most of you, contractual agreements regarding relocation. If you haven't broken up with someone yet, Mars in your first house, you might have done that already. Some of you back in November, December. I think this moon could be the final nail in a relationship coffin, and that would be the separation between two people in the home. One person has to move when two people break up who cohabitate. And some of you may be looking at that too. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the rest of the month. It gets really busy now, so I'm going to try my best to keep it slow and steady. The thing I'm noticing right away is that the sun will conjunct Uranus on May the 17th. And then also later on, by the way, so will Mercury. So it's two parts of one story. When the sun is conjunct Uranus normally, it just means a day of surprise. And this happens to be, for some of us, It depends on what the sun rules in your chart. A very fleeting moment on May 17th, 18th, 19th. Surprise, unexpected, career stories. But there's a wealth star called Algol here, and it's also the Medusa's head that gets decapitated. Be careful. Mars is squaring this. It could indicate you quit your job or you get fired from a job. So if that's not what you want, there's a little bit of someone losing their head, likely the boss or an authority figure over you losing their shit. So be careful around that time. Again, it's on the 18th, but 17th, 18th, and 19th. It was a little bit turbulent or intense, and it's all opposite Juno. So again, are you going to break or fracture agreements in a kind of catalytic way that is, or will he be broken for you? It could be work related here, or reputation related, or career related. The other thing I want to mention about this particular conjunction, though, is that whatever happens on the 17th, 18th, later on, Mercury comes back for some follow-up action. So it's not a one and done. And you might want to pay attention to the time of the 24th of May, connecting to the 18th, where Mercury then does something communicative or deal-making around major changes in your career, maybe breakthroughs or breaks in your career. If you're having a very public breakup, like we're done, and everyone, you're announcing to the world, I'm no longer with my husband of 29 years, they're an asshole. That would be a kind of thing that could happen here too. It really could be, especially given the conjunction was basically forming opposite that moon. And now we have the moon in your 7th house of marriage. This is very destabilizing for long-term committed love stories. Just know that there's a train that you might be walking through in the second half of May. Then the next thing I want to mention is that Mercury will square Mars. I talked about this earlier, this kind of tension in the sky regarding work and career. You'll notice that square is forming right here. Mercury Mars is harsh communications that are announced to the public, or you're announcing to the public, or matters to do with tussles, fights, and disagreements with an authority figure in work and career matters. And it looks like it could be a shocking, I'm out of here. But this is same energy. It could be a shocking, I'm leaving the home, I'm moving my house, I'm changing my job, I quit my career, I quit this relationship. All of that's activated. It's an intense time. We're talking about like May the 15th to about I would say it's an action till about the 19th. Okay. So that week is intense on these features here. When we move past all of that intensity, then we're going to talk about this. Sun and Saturn are nodding heads and shaking hands and having an agreement from the 19th to the 21st. Let's take a look. Saturn is stability. Sun, career matters. Now, this can be stability financially with an increase of wealth connected to changes that are happening in the career space. Mercury is the ruler of the allies, friends, benefactors, and elder sibling, and he's there. Some of you might be making some major career changes, a little bit exciting or exhilarating, but they're stabilizing your long-range finances. Could also be changing your tax structures connected to work and career matters. And allies, benefactors, and an elder sibling may be very supportive or a part of what this positive development is. So keep your eye on that as well. Now, Venus and Mars are going to do a trine from about May 19th to the 24th. How amazing, because this is a fire trine. It's about initiative and daring and bold action. And you're the one holding the Martian sword. And it's about the daring, bold actions you wish to take regarding higher education, book publishing, visas, foreign land travel, court and legal wins, and moving into a joyful alignment with your truest calling and purpose in life. How this plays out is just, it might feel very good. Venus trining Mars means that you feel joyful, you feel inspired, you feel alive, you're liking the vibe. May 19th to the 24th. Some of you might even be involved in travel that's bringing you to life. And if you're in any kind of entertainment, music, or film industry, it's also a glow up in those industries if that's a part of your career. The Sun and Neptune are next in a beautiful sextile. The Sun at 0 degrees of Gemini, Neptune at 1 degrees. You begin to feel this in nice flow. Now, it could be a dream come true career gain coming in May 21, 22, 23. Like, I cannot believe how lucky I am, especially with Jupiter there. Your perfect job, your perfect ambition realized, your long-range goals and dreams in alignment with purpose falling into place. Now, a solar energy with Jupiter could be a very big, powerful, energetic favor from someone in a high place that's going to benefit your career and your gains in your career. And this again, May 21, 22, 23 is activated for you. And it's soft touch. So it may not feel like a big deal. It's a sextile, but it's still significant fortunate energy for you here. So you could get accepted at your dream university as well at this time, or get your dream essay results, or the professor wants to promote you to the top of the class or something like that. Moving forward, then, the next thing I want you to know is that we will have Mercury following through on the 24th of May with what the sun started off on the 17th. There goes Mercury into the Iranian fire. Now, you're going to feel this on May 24th, 25th. Mercury brings news or contracts or deals or negotiations or information, surprising, shocking, or exhilarating around May 24th, but it's recognizable because it probably connected to May 17th, 18th, things that began then. So you might want to put 2 pins on your date timer of how does my 17th, 18th of May bring me surprises that connect to the 24th. For example, you get an unexpected opportunity for a job interview, and that's on the 17th, 18th of May, around there. And then you don't think any chance in hell you're going to get it, and surprise, they call you and you got it. That would be the 2 pieces of that kind of story. Or you're thinking of you're quitting your job and you want to do it on the 17th, 18th, but then your job quits you on the 24th and you actually feel quite relieved or something like that. Venus is the ruler of what Uranus and Mercury are up to, and she's in your Dharma house, and everything is lining up to heal any wounds about purpose and deep meaning in life. And in that regard, it's going to be a positive thing that you're feeling surprised, but I think you're okay with the surprise. I hope that's true. I'd like to know, what is the surprise that you experience in your career space, May 24th, 25th? And the reason it's so important here is that where Mercury and Uranus are sitting was an initiating point in July of 2024. And so it's bringing back July 15th, 2024 energies into the story, if you want to connect those dots as well. Next, I want you to know about the Pluto sextile to the sun. Remember we talked about Venus was sextiling the sun, and Pluto and Venus were in a sextile. Sorry, but the sun is trining Pluto. I didn't mean to say sextile, but it's a positive aspect like a sextile, but it's even luckier. So Pluto is wealth and the sun is power, authority. It's energy in your house of the sibling one older than you, and allies, benefactors, career gains, god of riches. I don't even know where to go. It could be a financial upswing connected to career gains or money from an elder sibling, riches from an elder sibling. It could be a positive chance to be influential in front of a large audience, and that audience is powerful or wealthy. It could also open up some doors of new directions that are powerful and authoritative in how you relate to a spouse in a very fortunate way. Those are some possibilities. It's a very short aspect. It moves quickly, but you're going to feel it playing out in the sky about May the 21st to about the 25th. Finally, I keep saying that word finally, there is a new moon and there's a bit of action in the sky around the 26th of May. Let's talk about Mercury in this middle of the story and pull the new moon up at 6 degrees of Gemini. Now, this makes this moon very positive. I bet you know why, because you guys are so smart, right? Why do we like this moon on the 26th? We like it because Mercury is in attendance and he's the lord of the sign. 26th, 27th is time zone dependent. So the moon will be new at 6 degrees of Gemini. Mercury will be midwiving this moon as the lord of Gemini, in charge of the whole shebang, with Jupiter at his behest, trying to do good things for Mercury. So it brings luck as well. And Jupiter is being ruled by the lord ruler, Mercury of Gemini. So he can't misbehave in Gemini either. So what I'd say is you're having a bit of a pennies from heaven kind of new beginning, fresh starts, karmic rewards, ideal job gains, ideal career gains, ideal new friendship circles, ideal exciting, lucky opportunities to follow your bucket list, your long-range goals and dreams, your true plans for your life. And Venus still in the Dharma house, healing the chironic wound, means that you're suddenly free and maybe even broken free to express yourself in some new way in your career, in your purpose, etc. And there's like a nice feeling here. And this moon, right, the 6 degree moon, is talking with Saturn, and Saturn is now with Neptune. So there's a kind of like, hey, it's not just about today. It's not just about May 26th. This is going to last. This is going to take over your life over the 7 years minimum, that you're going to begin to change direction and express your deeper purpose in life and actualize some long-range goals and dreams. A new moon, new beginning is very lucky with Jupiter there. It's also fortunate. Can't get this luck back at all for 7 or 12 more years. I've seen wins of money like this when Jupiter is in the 11th, looking at the 5th. You may win money, but again, other people may benefit you in such a way that you receive money as well. And with a North Node in the house of chunky money, it's more like chunks of money rather than a new salary. But who knows? It can be all forms of financial increase, likely connected to matters of career or to women in your life. One other thing is, this is a moon that is going to be very strongly unfolding, likely in the shorter term, in the 2 weeks that follow minimum. Sometimes, yes, I always say a new moon, new beginning is going to unfold over 6 months, and that's still true. But there's a lot of momentum with Jupiter here. So that the moon on the 26th of May, Jupiter still in Gemini to June the 9th. I expect that you're going to see before June the 9th what Jupiter's lucky break is. Windfalls, pennies from heaven, chunks of money. What the hell is it, guys? I'd like to know what it is. And Jupiter is at the North Node, the bending of the North Node of fate and the house of chunky money. Some of you are coming into a bit of a chunk of money. Anytime, May 26th, probably add 2 weeks. Mercury and the Sun become one on the 29th of the month. Right here. This is a cazimi. They're going to join forces around 8 or 9 degrees of Gemini. I think it's 9 degrees of Gemini, and it's happening on the 29th, 30th. It's a reset button. It's a lucky one with Jupiter there. I'm going to do a webinar on this because it's going to be so much fun. And how are you going to reset your life? And it will unfold over 6 weeks when it comes to the career gains, your friendship circles, your sibling older than you, and your relationship to that sibling, your long-range goals, dreams, and plans. This is a cazimi that has of Jupiter's luck blessing it, and Saturn says formidable, long-term, karmic, positive changes in your life. You know, Mercury in the heart of the Sun ruling your second house of money you possess. You're coming through a cycle. The universe says, don't hustle so much. Allow some of that long-range chunky money to show up for you. Yes, I know I've talked about inheritances. I still will. North Node in the 8th can bring inheritances, but it is like something wants to happen so that you can possess more financial wellness. And it does come in the wake of this reset button of Mercury, Sun, and even, of course, the 26th of May's new moon. They're all interconnected. So good luck with that. Let me know how it goes. Don't forget, you have the Martian sword in your hand. You're the boss of you. You've got this. Don't forget to make bold, courageous, heartfelt decisions in your life, Leos. They will be the right decisions. They will be the right direction for you. And those decisions you make now will have long-lasting impacts of a minimum of 7 years, but for your benefit and for your alignment with purpose. Don't forget, if you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Yep, you'll get all more video content from me, including my weekly videos about your sign. And if you want to join my Sky Reader, I'd love to have you. Check the description box to read about the course, and also get on the early bird waitlist so that when I open the doors, you know before the public, you get a discounted rate on the course that nobody else gets to get. Okay? Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.